Andrea Barzagli was a lucky man, getting away with a nasty stamp on Son Heung-min, whilst Phil Foden was a record breaker at the Etihad. Sportsmail runs you through 7 things you might have missed from Tottenham's clash with Juventus and Manchester City's game against Bale. Bale fans take over Manchester. Despite the huge first leg deficit, Bale fans took to Manchester in their droves. The Swiss supporters may well have already booked flights in advance, but the scoreline did nothing to dampen their spirits or quieten their march towards the Etihad. Thousands walked the streets, chanting in unison, a spectacle to behold from above. Barzagli stamps on Son. Son Heung-min and veteran Juventus defender Andrea Barzagli came together, and the Italian appeared to deliberately stamp on his opponent. Son then tried to lash out in retaliation before the gnarled centre-back tried to flick back at him for a second time. It was a flashpoint both players escaped sanction for, with the game being played at a furious pace and full-blooded challenges flying in. Phil Foden, the record breaker. The Manchester City stalwart became the youngest English player to play in the Champions League knockout stages. Having impressed for England in their under-17s World Cup victory, Foden has enjoyed an increasing amount of game time under Pep Guardiola, who rates the midfielder highly. At 17 years and 283 days he pits Theo Walcott, the previous record holder, by 73 days. Juventus tribute to Davide story. The travelling support held up letters spelling out the name of Davide story in the crowd, offering their own small token of remembrance for the former Fiorentina captain. News of Astore's death in his sleep rocked Italy and led to Serie A matches at the weekend being cancelled. Both sets of players also held a minute's silence for Astore before kick-off, impeccable observed at Wembley. Outrageous Dele Alli flick. At the start of the second half, Dele Alli pulled off a sublime piece of skill so nonchalantly that you'd think it was nothing. Andrea Barzagli's nasty stamp on Son Heung-min, an Arsenal fan in the away end, and Phil Foden's record. 7 things you missed from Champions League. The Spurs and England midfielder helped it on its way back, heeling it into the path of Ben Davies charging down the flank. A fantastic piece of flair. 29th time lucky for Dybala. After 28 shots without scoring in the Champions League, the 29th proved decisive for Paulo Dybala. An unusual run of profligacy was broken in emphatic style when the striker slotted a cool finish past Hugo Lloris. Dybala showed great composure despite having failed to find the target for some time before the goal that put his side ahead. Lone Arsenal fan in away end. Arsenal fans haven't had much to shout about recently, and one supporter sought some catharsis by supporting Juventus. The gunner waved his Arsenal shirt in the air as he watched on with the hordes of travelling supporter in the away end at Wembley. Doubt he will have been celebrating like he was from Turin when Arsenal's rivals fell behind in the tie.